Okay, boys and girls, we're going to continue with Now You're Cooking. We're going to finish off the story, pages 192 and 193, boys and girls, please. Okay, let's get started, please. You have 20 minutes, said Mr. Jackson. Cooks, are you ready? The two nodded. Joey was anxious to get to work. Martina was still thinking, but wasn't coming up with anything. Oh no, she thought, Joey's going to win this competition. Cook! Cried Mr. Jackson and started the timer. Martina ran over to the rack to see if looking at all the spices and other ingredients would inspire her. She saw a basket of bread. Sitting on top were two bolillos, a kind of bread that reminded her of early mornings visiting her grandparents in Mexico, warm, toasty mornings. Then it struck her. She had more than just the cooking shows to inspire her. She also had memories of her abuelito, Servando, teaching her to fix his favorite breakfast. Martina took the two pieces of bread, a sprig of cilantro, and some butter, and then she got cooking. In the end, Martina didn't win the cook-off, but she wasn't crestfallen. She noticed that the judges had finished all of her dish, while Joey's was left half-eaten. Mr. Jackson reminded her that the instructions called for a healthful meal. And though she had used the peppers, tomatoes, strawberries, and peach, she still could have separated the egg whites from the yolks and opted for olive oil instead of butter. But I'll tell you what, Miss Dianda, he said, that was one delicious meal. Martina walked up to Joey, who held the trophy over his head. Congratulations, Joey, she said. You cooked a better meal than mine. It looks that way, he said, but he glanced at the judges' plates. There's always next year, though. Yes, she thought, there's always next year. And there would be many more visits to her grandparents' home between now and then. She couldn't wait for her next visit. Maybe she'd give them a telephone call that night and tell them about the competition. Crestfallen. If you're crestfallen, you're sad and discouraged. Opted. If you opted for something, you chose it. Okay. So boys and girls, she didn't have any idea what to do, but then a memory came to her mind, boys and girls. She had gotten inspiration, ideas about all the cooking shows that she had seen, but then when it came down to it, boys, the actual last finale, she thought of her grandfather, Abuelito Servando, and his favorite breakfast. So she got even inspiration from family members, and so she got an idea, and even though she did not win, her meal was still more delicious, boys and girls. There's proof. How do we know that her meal was more delicious than Joey's? How do we know, boys and girls? Where's the text evidence to prove that? And if you said that she noticed that the judges had finished all of her dish, she noticed that all the judges had finished all of her dish while Joey's was left half eaten, then that proved, boys and girls, that her meal was more delicious, but she didn't win because she didn't follow the exact rules, I guess. The instructions were for a healthful meal, and she used the announcer, Mr. Jackson, said, well, your meal was delicious, yes, but you could have separated the egg whites from the yolks, and you could have used olive oil instead of butter to make it more healthy. So even though her meal was more delicious, boys and girls, she didn't win. It was Joey who won, but she's still not discouraged, boys and girls, and she's not crestfallen. She's not sad at all or discouraged. Even on Joey's advice, they said, well, there's always next year, and she's going to compete next year, boys and girls. And she's already thinking about, from now until next year, I can go visit my grandparents even more and get more ideas. And so even though she didn't take the trophy home, boys and girls, she still thinks of herself as a winner. And that's awesome, boys and girls. Thank you, boys and girls.